So demonstrating the discuss how can we create a new service, discuss built-in services, we'll discuss how can we create our own service. Okay, so before going to discuss this service concept, first of all I'll create a simple application create for demonstrating the media player. Okay, basically media player is a class which contains a method called start, pause and stop are the methods. One is to start playing an audio file, another thing is to stop playing an audio file. We'll create a simple application will create. Before going to discuss this service concept, what exactly service? Okay, I'll create a simple application. I'll create. It's a simple media player which contains two buttons. One is the start button, and another thing is what stop button. I want to create a simple media player application. I want to create. One is to start playing an audio file. Second thing is to stop playing an audio file. Just I want to create two buttons. I want to create. One is what start is one thing. To start playing an audio file, and one more button is stop is another button. Stop playing an audio file. Start and stop. So whenever you select the start button, start playing an audio file. Whenever you select the stop button, stop playing an audio file. These are requirements. Okay. So first we'll discuss this one. Then after that we'll see what is the disadvantages of writing the logic in activity and what is the need of going for service class. We'll discuss. Okay. A simple application, start and stop, and what are the audio file you wants to play? Let's place the audio file in the raw folder. Okay. A simple application. Let's see. Create a project, file, new. Let's create a new project. I'm specifying a project name as media test is a project name I'm specifying, or audio play is the project name I specify. What is the project name I'm specifying? Audio play is a project name I specified. Audio play is a project name I specified. Just click on this next. Take an empty activity. Finish. Okay. So in our activity XML file, here just will create two buttons. Will create one is to start a service, another thing is to stop a service. Start a service and stop a service. Just will create two buttons here. One is start is one button, and another thing is stop is another thing. Start and stop. Let's start with a click on for these two buttons. Start and stop. Start and stop. Okay. So let's configure the click event for these two buttons. On click is equals to start. We'll configure the click event. We'll configure on click is equals to what? Start. And on click is equals to what? Stop. On click is equals to start and on click is equals to stop. So these two methods, I mean the start and stop, these two methods we have to create in the activity class. We have to create these two methods. So start, which is taking the view object as input parameter. Start is one thing, and one more thing is what? Stop is another method. Start and so whenever you select the start button, I want to start playing an audio file. Okay, whenever you select the stop button, I want to stop playing an audio file. I want to stop playing. Okay, So let's do one thing. Whatever the audio file you wants to play, let's place that audio file in the raw folder in your project resource folder. By default we'll get a folder called resource is a folder. In this resource folder we have to create a folder called raw is a folder name, raw is a folder. In that raw folder we have to place the audio file. Right click on this resource folder. You can find a folder called new option. You can find in this new, select this Android resource directory. In new, select Android resource directory. Specify the file, specify the folder, just specify the folder name here. Resource type, I'm taking raw. Raw is a folder name. Resource type is what? So resource type is what? Raw is a folder name. Okay. Now in this raw folder, whatever the audio file you wants to play, let's place that audio file inside this raw folder. We'll take one audio file. We'll take, for example, any audio file you will take, but should be only in a small case. It should not contain any special characters. For example, this saripo.mp3 is there, right? Let's copy this audio file saripo.mp3 and place the audio file inside this raw folder. Place the audio file inside the raw folder. So now we place the audio file you placed in the raw folder. You place the audio file. Now you place the audio file you placed in the raw folder. You place the audio file. Okay. So whenever you just select the start button, we have to start playing an audio file. You have to start playing. So globally, what we'll do is globally let's create the object for media player. Globally create the object for media player, and in the on create method initialize the media player. What are the audio file you want to play? Media player is equals to media player dot create is a method. First parameter is a context, your activity object, use this. Second parameter is nothing but the audio file name. Which audio you want to play, just specify the audio file. r dot raw dot, specify the file name, sorry, r dot raw dot, specify the file name, sorry, is a file. Okay. So when user select the start button, you have to start playing an audio file, you have to start playing. Media player dot start is a method to start playing an audio file. Media player dot start is a method to start playing an audio file. When user select the stop button, you have to stop playing an audio file. Okay. So media player dot stop is a method to stop playing. Okay. So initialize the media player, start playing an audio file and stop playing an audio file. Okay. So we'll install the application. We'll install this application and we'll test whether it is playing an audio file or not. Okay. So we'll install application emulator because the device is not available. Let's launch the application. A simple media player application. A simple media player application. We created object for media player class. We created globally object, and we initialize that in the on create method. And whenever user select the start button, start playing an audio file. And whenever user select the stop button, stop playing an audio file. Okay. So installing the application. even my device is also ready. Let's install the application. The device, Samsung device. So AVD, I mean, my device is also installed. I'll install the application. My phone I'll install than the AVD. I settled my phone. I selected. Okay. It is installed application in my phone. The app is installed. App is installed in my phone. App is installed. Okay. So whenever you select the start button, it start playing an audio file. Observe here. It's playing an audio. If you stop, if select again, stop playing an audio file. Again, if you select this start button, if you select, then we have to reinitialize again to start playing an audio file. So basically, the scope of this audio file, means scope of this media player is nothing but only within that particular activity, only in that particular activity. Meaning here, so we create a project called Audio Test is a project name, Audio Play. I selected play button. I selected. It's playing an audio file, right? It's playing an audio file. Now, if you close your activity, if you destroy your activity, if you destroy it, and automatically the audio file also stopped. If you destroy the activity, automatically the audio file also what? Audio file has stopped. After destroying our activity, the audio file has stopped playing. Stop playing an audio file. My requirement is even though if user stops playing an audio file, even if user stops playing an audio file, still I want to play in the background. I want to play the audio file. This is a requirement. Where if user is destroyed the activity, still I want to play the audio file in the background. I want to play the audio file. This is the requirement. So we'll see how to do this. Meaning, even after user is destroyed the activity, also still I want to play an audio file. You understand, right? What is the requirement? In this audio file, if user select the play button, start button, start playing an audio file. Okay. Scope of this audio file is nothing but if the activities exist. If the activities exist in the stack, then it will play the audio file. Once if you destroy this one, once if you destroy this activity, once if you destroy, automatically it will stop playing. Now my requirement is even though if user stops at that particular activity, but still I want to execute in the background without any user interaction. I want to execute some process. I want to execute in the background. Meaning user no need to keep open that screen. Always user no need to keep open that screen. Even if you user destroys the activity, also I want to stop playing an audio file. I want to stop playing. Okay. So for this, we'll write a logic called service. For this, we'll write a logic called what? Service. Next, we'll discuss. Meaning, if you write any logic in the activity, the scope of that logic is nothing but up to the activities exist in the stack. Once if you remove the activity in the stack, then the logic will not be executed. My requirement is even if user close the activity also, I want to execute some process. I want to execute. Okay, so we'll see that logic in a service class. What is in the service? Service means a long running background process. A long running background process without any user interaction is called as service. A long running background process without any user interaction is called as service. A long running background process without any user interaction is called as what? Service. Okay. Now we'll see what are the steps to create a service. Meaning, if you want to execute anything in the background without any user interaction, we use what? Service. So steps to create a service. Very simple was hardly 3 or 4 steps. Okay. So creating a service. The first step to create a service is create a class with subtype of create a class with subtype of android.app.service. Create a class with subtype of what? Android.app.service is a class name. This is the first step for creating a service. This is the first step for creating a service. Create a class with subtype of android.app.service is a class name. Service is the class name. Okay. It is an abstract class, meaning this service is an abstract class. It is an abstract class having an abstract method. It is an abstract class having an abstract method called onBind is abstract method. It is an abstract class having an abstract method called what? OnBind is the abstract method. Okay, so definitely we have to provide the implementation for the onBind method because it's abstract method, right? It's abstract method, so definitely we have to provide the implementation for the onBind method. We have to provide the implementation. Okay, so apart from this onBind method, following are the major methods. Following are the major methods Following are the major methods in service class. Meaning onBind method is there, this abstract method, so definitely we have to provide the implementation for that method. And following are the major methods in service class. Mainly there are three methods are there. Mainly there are three major methods are there. One is onCreate. OnCreate is one method. OnCreate is one method. OnStart command is another method. OnCreate is one method. Another method is OnStart command is another method. OnCreate, OnStart command, and OnDesktop. Okay, so these are the three major methods in the service class. These are the three major methods in service class: onCreate, OnStart command, and OnDestroy. OnCreate, OnStart command, and OnDestroy. These are the three major methods in the service class. These are the three major methods in the service class. Okay. So when we start a service, when we start a service, when we start a service, if the service is not available, if the service is not available, the service is not available, it will invoke onCreate and OnStart command methods. Both methods will invoke. It will invoke onCreate and OnStart command methods. Okay. So when you start a service, the service is not available, it will invoke both will invoke onCreate as well as OnStart command methods. If the service is already available, if the service is already available, If the service is already available, it will invoke onStart command method. So in a start a service, if it is the service is not available, it will invoke onCreate as well as onStart command methods. Both methods will invoke. And if the service is already available, if not available, it's going to call onCreate as well as onStart command. If the service is already available, it will invoke what? Only onStart command method will invoke. It will invoke only onStart command method. If the service is not available, sorry, when we stop a service, when we stop a service, it will invoke on destroy method. It will invoke what? On destroy method. And the last thing is nothing but every service class we have to configure, and service doesn't contain any user interface. Service doesn't contain what? Any user interface, because it will execute the process, it will execute in the background, it will execute. Service doesn't contain any user interface. Any user interface. We will manage service from activity. We will manage service from activity using intents. Have you remembered what is the definition of intents? Initial class I explained, right? What is by intent? Intent is used to provide a communication between activity to activity, activity to service, and activity to what? Broadcast receivers, right? So now we are discussing the intents concept with respect to services. Even if you want to start any background service, if you want to start from your activity also, we use what? Intent concept only we use. Okay. So if you want to start a service, if you want to start a service, so we had to create an object for intent class. We had to create an object. We had to create an object for intent. Intent I is equals to new intent. Intent I is equals to what? New intent. Same I dot set component is a method. Specify the object of component name class. Specify the component object of component name class, which you had to specify two parameters. You had to specify. One is a context object. Second parameter is a class name, to which class you want to navigate. Context I specified. This I specified. Context I specified this, and second parameter is nothing but class name, to which class you want to navigate. Next, we have to use a method called start service. Is a method. Start service of intent object. And stop service of intent object. Start service and stop service. Start service of intent and stop service of what? Intent object. Okay, I'll repeat once again. Just we had to create a class with subtype of service class, and it's an abstract class which contains an abstract method called onBind method. So definitely we had to provide the onBind method implementation. And these are the three major methods: onCreate, onStart command, and onDestroy. First time it's going to call the onCreate method. First time when you start a service, it's going to call onCreate method. Okay. From second onCreate as well as onStart command methods, both methods will invoke. From second time onwards, it will not call onCreate. Only it is going to invoke onStart command method will invoke from the second time onwards. Whenever you stop a service, it's going to call the onDestroy method is going to call. Okay. And we'll manage the service from our activity using the intents concept. And the last statement is every service class we had to configure. Every service class we had to configure in manifest.xml. Every service class we had to configure in manifest.xml with the following tag inside application tag. Same like our activity. How will configure each and every activity in the manifest.xml? In the same way, each and every service we have to configure, each and every service class we have to configure in the manifest.xml inside the application tag with a name called, I mean the tag name is service is a tag. Service Android colon name is equals to service Android colon name is equals to your application package name dot specify the class name. Your application package name dot specify what? The class name will specify package name dot class name. Okay. Every service class you have to configure in manifest.xml inside the application tag with the following tag: service Android column name is equals to package name dot class name. Okay. So let's see here. We written the media player logic we written, but in the activity class we written. What is our main problem now? Main problem is nothing but if you destroy the activity, globally we create an object for media player. It's a global variable. Whenever users select the start button, we start playing an audio file and stop playing an audio file. The main problem is nothing but once if you destroy that activity, it is stop playing an audio file. When users select this start button, start playing an audio file, right? So when user destroy this activity, automatically the audio player is going to be stopped. Okay, because the lifetime of that media player object is nothing but if the activities exist in the stack, then it will play the audio file. So once if you remove the activity from the stack, it's going to stop playing an audio file. Now even if you remove the activity from the stack also, still I want to play the audio file in the background. I want to play the audio file. So that's why we are discussing this. I mean, how can we execute that long operations in the background? Okay, I mean this media player playing logic, we should not write in the activity class. We should not write. I mean, if you want to get that kind of support, like even if user destroyed the activity, still you want to play an audio file, don't write the logic in the activity. Write the logic in a service class. Okay, let's create a class. Right click on this package, create a new Java class, create a new Java class, specify the Java class name, and specifying the Java class name as my service is a class name. What is the Java class name? My service is the class name. This class should be, I mean, this my service class should be subtype of extends service class android.app.service. This is the first step for creating a service. Create a class with subtype of android.app.service is a class. Okay, this service is an abstract class. This service is what? It's an abstract class. Service is an abstract class. We have to provide the implementation. It contains an abstract method called onBind is a method. It contains an abstract method called onBind. So we had to provide the implementation for the onBind method. We had to provide the implementation. Let's select these implement methods. Select what? Implement methods, which contains a method called onBind is a method. So provide the implementation for onBind method. Class my service extends what? Service, which contains an abstract method called onBind. So provide the implementation for onBind method. Provide the implementation for which method? OnBind method. Let's provide the implementation. Provide the implementation for OnBind method. Apart from this OnBind method, there are three major methods are there in the service class. Okay, this is abstract method, so definitely we had to provide the implementation for this. But basically, we never use this OnBind method. There are three other major methods are there. What are the three methods? One is onCreate is one method. OnCreate is one method. And another method is onCreate, onStart command, onCreate, onStart command, and onDestroy. These are the three major methods in the service class. OnCreate, onStart command, and onDestroy. These are the three major methods in the service class. Okay, so here what are the audio file, what are the audio file playing logic written in the activity class? So let's write the logic in service. Don't write the logic in the activity class. Still, if you want to execute this process in the background, if you want to execute, let's move that logic into a service class. Globally, I'm creating the object for this media player class and initialize that media player in the on create method, because on create is going to be called only once. So this media player creation object, write in the on create method, the service on create method. Initialize the media player object. When user select the start button, whenever user select the start button, start playing an audio file. Start playing an audio file. Media player dot start is a method to start playing an audio file, and media player dot stop is a method to stop playing an audio file. Okay. Now return the logic in the service class. Return the logic. Now return the logic in service class. Return the logic. Just give me a second. I'll connect the charger. I'll connect. Okay. So media player dot start and media player dot stop. Okay. Just on create is going to be start only once. On start is going to be called when the service when somebody start a service. When the service is stop, it's going to call the on start method. Now in your activity class, in the start method, and stop method, in start method, what we had to do is we had to write the logic to start a service. The stop method, we had to write the logic to stop a service. Okay. So we had to use the intent object we had to use to start a service and stop a service. So let's create the object for intent class. Let's create the object for what? Intent class. Intent I is equals to new intent I dot set component. Specify the object of component name class. First parameter, specify the context. If you are in the activity class, you can use this. You can use. And second parameter is a class name, to which class you want to navigate. It's not a class. It's a class name is my service dot class. So earlier we are using a method called start service method. Earlier we are using a method called what? Earlier we are using a method called start activity method. We are using earlier. So now here we are calling a service. We are calling. So if we are calling a service, we have to use start service of intent object. When you are calling any activities, we call a method called start activity method we use. Okay, but now we are calling the services we are calling. So that's why I'm calling start services. So start service intent object as specified. Okay. And whenever you select the stop button, the same logic, create the intent object now. But in place of the start service method, we'll specify what? Stop service we will specify. In place of start service, we'll specify what? Stop service we'll specify. That's it. Whenever you select the start button, we are executing the service in the background, we are executing the service. We are executing the service in the background, we are executing the service. Okay. Next, start service and stop service. And each and every service class we have to configure in manifest.xml. Then only it will consider as a service. Otherwise, it will not consider as a service, it will not consider. So go to the manifest.xml. In manifest.xml, inside the application tag, by default, you can find a tag called application is a tag. Okay. Inside this application tag, we have to configure the service. We have to configure service name is equals to my service. My service. Okay, let's run the application now. So app is installed. Now written the audio file playing logic written in the service class written, not in the activity class. Okay. Let's select the start button. So once we select the start button, it start playing an audio file. Audio file is playing now. Okay. Even if you destroy the activity in the stack also, even if you destroy the activity in the stack also, even if you destroy the activity in stack, see there are no recent apps in the activity, but still it's playing an audio file. Still displaying an audio file, it is playing because we written the logic in the service class, written the logic. We written the logic in the service class, written the logic. Even if you destroy the activity also, still it will execute in the backend, it will execute because written the logic in service. If you want to go to settings, go to settings and select general application manager. You can find, see, these are the downloaded applications. These are the downloaded applications. Second thing is the applications which are available in SD card. Downloaded applications, the applications which are available in SD card. And third thing is nothing but the current running applications. Current running applications. See here, all these are the services. Settings application is running on service, one process and one service, one process and one service. Snaptube, one process and two services they are running. So one process and one service. So audio, these are the application we created, right? Audio plays our application. Okay. So here, one service is running here. When it started, 2 minutes back the service is started. This service is started from 2 minutes back. The service is started. Go to that particular application. So if you stop the service, if you stop, then it will stop. Stop the service. Okay. Of course, I mean it's not mandatory. I'm showing the screen because of confirmation. See, we started a service. We started. Okay. So once if you start a service, even the activity is destroyed from the scope or a stack. Even the activity is destroyed from stack also. Still the logic will execute in the background. Still, the logic will execute in the background. That is the service concept. Meaning you don't need to keep open that activity. Even if you close that activity also, it will execute the process. It will execute in the background. It will execute that process. Okay. Start. Even the activity is destroyed from stack also. Still it is playing an audio file in the background. It will play an audio file. Okay. So now if you want to stop the service, either manually go to the particular application in the downloaded, in the application manager, there you can stop, or even in your application also you can stop. Even in your application also you can stop the service, you can stop. Okay. This is about the service class. If you want to execute any logic, if you want to execute in the background without any user interaction, then we'll write that logic in the service class, we'll write that logic. Okay. Are you clear? Are you clear about the service? So next we'll discuss a concept called how to deploy the application into Play Store. For example, this is my application. This is my application. I want to deploy this application. I want to deploy into Play Store. This service test is there, right? The service test project. This application I want to deploy into Play Store. I want to deploy. This is the requirement. Okay. So we'll see how to deploy this application into Play Store. We create a project, right? This service test project is there, right? This application I want to deploy into Play Store. I want to deploy. This is the requirement. Okay. So if you want to generate the application, if you want to generate into Play Store, see how to deploy the application into what Play Store process will see. If you want to deploy the application, if you want to deploy into Play Store, first of all, what we need is .apk file is not sufficient to deploy into Play Store. only .apk file is not sufficient to deploy the application into Play Store. If only .apk is sufficient, okay, then you can download n number of APK files you can download from Play Store, and we can upload the APK files you can upload. We can download n number of APK files you can download, and we can upload the APK file you can upload into our Play Store you can upload. But only .apk file is not sufficient to upload the APK file into Play Store. What we need is we need the signed APK. We need what? The signed APK file we need. Signed APK means nothing but which contains two things. One is the APK, second thing is nothing but key store. One is .apk, second thing is nothing but what? Key store is the second one. Key store. The second one is important. APK file, and second thing is also important for a developer. What is that one? Key store. That key store file you should not share with anyone. Okay, you have to keep with you only. First time it will not ask you the key store. If for example I already uploaded one APK file, I already uploaded it into Play Store. For example, now I want to update that APK file. I want to update. At that time, it is going to ask you, "Was give me your signed key." Give me your, we call it as a signed key. We call it. That's it. So one is the APK file we required. Second thing is what? Signed key we required. Second time onwards, if you want to update the APK file, if you want to update in the Play Store, first it is going to ask you, provide me the signed key. If you give that key, if you give that a file, if you give, then only it will accept you to update the APK file. Otherwise, it will not allow you to update the APK file. Okay. So now let's see how to deploy this application to Play Store. First, if you want to deploy this application into Play Store, if you want to deploy, we had to generate what? A signed key we had to generate. Okay, generated a signed APK file. So here, go to build option. In build, you can find the option here, generate signed APK. The build option, you can find the option called what? Generate signed APK. What is the module name? App name. App next. What is the key store path? See, you're asking key store path. Do you have any existing one, or you have any new one? You want to create a new one. I want to create what? The new one I want to create. If you are already deployed into Play Store, now you did some modifications on that APK, you did some modifications, then at that time you had to give the same path, same the file you had to give, existing key store path you had to give. For example, now we have not created any key store, we have not created for this. So let's create new. Specify the key store path where you want to create this. Let's specify the key store path. For example, in my phone, on top of desktop, on our desktop, I'm creating a new folder I'm creating called Android 6am underscore APK. I create a new folder I created, Android 6am.apk. Let's select this. Let's give a file name. Folder we specified. Now specify the file name. Okay. Service test. Service test.jks. Extension is nothing but jks is extension. For that signed key, extension is .jks. Okay. Click on this OK button. Okay, we specified the file path we specified where you want to generate that signed key. Where you want to generate the signed key, we specified the path we specified. Now we had to specify the password and what is the confirm password. Okay, remember this password whatever you are doing. First time it will not ask you anything, but second time if you want to give any updates to the XML, any updates to your application, at that time we require this signed key required. Okay, so next, what is the alias? Alias you can give anything. Alias means will give the name of the application, will be that's it. Service test. So what is the password for this? So validity here. How many years this application want to be valid in the Play Store? It's 25, 50, or how many years you want to valid this application in the Play Store? Let's specify the years. For example, I want to valid this application for 50 years. Okay, like to 50. This application should be valid up to how many years? 15 years. What is the name? Organization unit, Android organization unit UX. What is the city it's located? Hyderabad. What is the state? What is the country code? 91 is specified. Okay. So 91 is the country code for India. Okay. And select this OK button. So once you select the OK button, okay, and see here it is generating the path also generating in the same folder. Now first thing is key store is generated. Key store is generated. Now it is asking to generate the APK file where you want to generate the APK file. In the same folder I want to generate the APK file I want to generate. Click on this next. And here in the same folder only it is going to generate the APK file. We'll change this one. This is the APK path you have to specify now. On desktop, we create a folder with the name Android 6 AM. There. So 1 second. We create a folder on desktop only we created, right? I think not in desktop. We created on documents I create, I guess. HTTP Android 6 AM. Okay. Here we create a folder called Android 6 am.apk. Okay. So in this location, let's save the APK file in this location. Android 6 am. Choose the same folder only. We are generating the APK file also. We are generating in the same folder. Click on this finish button. Now it will generate the APK file. Generate the signed APK file. Generate. Okay. So now it is generated. The APK file is generated, and see here. Generate signed APK. APK generated successfully. Reveal in folder. Click on this option. So it will show you in the folder. It will show you where it is created. Okay. So it is created in the device. So this is a folder. This is a folder. Okay, which is generated APK file is generated. App debug.apk is one thing. Another thing is generated as signed APK. Signed APK is generated and signed key is generated. Key store. Let's rename this APK file name. Okay, rename. .apk is same. Extension should be same. I'm giving the file name as service test is a project. Service test is a project name. What's the application name we specified? Service test is the application name we specified. Now I want to deploy this APK file. I want to deploy into Play Store. I want to deploy this APK file. I want to deploy into Play Store. So even we generated a signed key we generated. Now we want to deploy this APK into Play Store. We want to deploy. Let's see here. So if you want to deploy an application into Play Store, you have to purchase an account with $25. You have to purchase an account with what? $25. You have to purchase an account, and that account is for lifetime. The account is for lifetime. You can deploy n number of applications. You can deploy. Okay. So $25 for lifetime, and you can deploy n number of apps. You can deploy into Play Store. You can deploy. Okay. First, log in with your Gmail credentials. First, log in with your Gmail account. Log in with your Gmail account. Okay. Log in with your Gmail account. I have to purchase an account with $25. Okay. Okay. Log in with my Gmail account. I log in. So now type here in a Google like APK publish into Play Store. Just if you type here APK publish, APK publish process into what? Into the Play Store. Okay. So here select this sign in to continue Google Play developers, right? So now it's opening the developers console page. Developers console page. Okay. So now here there are three applications are there. There are three applications. Okay. So one is BLE Finder. In my account, there are three applications are there. One is BLE Finder is one device. BLE Finder is one device. Test production is another application, and Wi-Fi BT Hacker is another application. Okay. These two applications just I deployed into Play Store just for testing purpose. Now I'll remove this one. I'll remove this app. I'll remove it where I can find option. Delete this app. So these two applications just I deployed into Play Store just for the testing purpose. So I'm removing these two apps. I'm removing now. Okay. So now in my account, there is one application is available. That is BLE Finder is a device. I mean application name, and total installations are 39 is the total installations. Total installations are 39 is the total installations. Still, how many devices the application is available? Still in 10 devices the app is available. Still in 10 devices app is available, but total installations are what? 39 is the total installations. What is the average rating? And when you release? January 8 I release. Okay. If you want, you can update. This is a icon. This is my application icon. And what about the screenshots about this application? So now here my requirement is I want to deploy our own application, whatever we created. The service test application is there, right? This service test application I want to deploy into Play Store. I want to deploy. Okay. If you want to deploy any APK, if you want to deploy into Play Store, let's select this plus add new option. Add new application. Specify what is your application name. My application name is uh, media service test is my application. Media service test is my application name. Media service test is my application name. Just click on this upload APK. Click on this upload APK file. So you have to fill all these options. You have to fill these 5 options. You have to fill. Then you can deploy the application to Play Store. Okay. Upload your first APK into production. Upload your first APK into production. So you can drag the file. You can drag here. So these are APK file name service test.apk. See, now it will not ask you. Now it will not ask you anything about the signed key. Second time onwards, if you want to update your APK file, at that time it is going to ask the signed key to ask. Now let's take the service test. Let's move that service test class and set the service test file APK file here. Uploading the service test.apk. Okay. So we deployed the application to Play Store. And see here how many supported devices are there. 12,024 supported devices are available. There is no any excluded devices. Okay. So this is the first one. This is the first one. We uploaded the APK file. We uploaded into production. Next, we have to specify all these things. We have to specify. So now it's in a draft mode. Draft in prod. Draft in prod means that, still it's not deployed into Play Store, it's not deployed, still it's in a production. It's available in a draft folder, it is available. So now the second thing is we had to specify this option, we had to specify called store listing. Let's select the second tab here, second option, store listing. In this store listing, what is the title of your project? I mean, what is the search key? What is your application name? How to specify? I'm specifying the project name as Media Service Test is a project application. Media Service Test is the application. Media Service Test. Give a short description about your application, like is used to play the audio files. Just I guess specify some short description I specify. If you want, you can give the full description about your application also. We can give. We used to play the audio files with HD quality. Just I given some short description and the long description about my application. And if you scroll down here, here we had to specify what is a screenshot of your application. You had to specify what? The screenshots you had to specify about your application, you had to specify the screenshots. Okay. So we'll add some screenshots, we'll add. For example, there are our application is there, right? Mahesh tutorials. It contains some images. We'll upload that images as a screenshots. We'll upload. We'll upload that images. We'll upload as a screenshots. This is the first image. Okay. So now we added two screenshots. We added at least one screenshot is enough. Okay, but at least one is mandatory. Okay, and this is for phone resolution. What about the tablet? Okay, when for tablet also we have to specify. This will specify the same thing. We'll specify. Even for 7 inches tablets and 10 inches tablets also. Even for 7 inch and 10 inch tablet also, we added the screenshots. We added a screenshot. We added. So next thing is nothing, right? This is mandatory was this 512 MB. We had to create an image. We had to create with 32-bit PNG. A default image we had to create with 32-bit. 32-bit is the size. 32-bit PNG. And what is the size? Its width should be 512 by 512. Width should be what? 512 by 512 is a width. Okay. So we required some application icon. We required some application icon. Okay, and we had to specify the application icon here, and one image with this 1024 is a width and 500 is a screen height with a JPEG 24-bit image. It's mandatory. We had to give it the same sizes and the same. This specified. Okay, let's try to download an application from image. Will download from flat icon. For example, I required an image. I required for service. So what is the icon we required? Icon we required in a 512 by 512 image icon we required. Basically, in case of your company, okay, my application icon is there, but it's very small size. Q logo is there, right? This application is very small size. It contains. I'll check it once. Okay, this is my application icon, but it's having very small size. But we require the application size we require in same 512 by 512 size we require. Okay. That's why just for temporarily what we are doing is we are downloading one. We'll download image. We'll download from the flat icon. We'll download an image. For example, this is my application icon. For example, This is my application icon. I'm taking PNG, and with what is your logo? Specify the logo color. Okay. For example, this is my logo color. Okay. And here you can find option called 512. Download. So computer hyphen service. Now this image we want to set as a icon we want to specify. Now here in the store listing, so add a high resolution icon. Downloads folder is specified. Computer underscore user. Computer underscore service. Okay. So now we specified what is the application icon we specified. What is the application icon? We specified the application icon we specified. But another important thing, see here, all these things are the star mark is there, right? We had to fill these mandatory fields I had to specify. We specified the high resolution icon we specified. Next we had to specify what is the default. One image you had to specify this with this size 1024 by 500. 1024 is a screen width and 500 is a screen height. Okay, so we need an image with this size. We require the image. So how can we get an image with exactly 1024 by 7? 1024 is the width and 500 is the screen height. I guess in the paint we can create. I guess. Let's see. I'm trying to create the paint. 1024 is the width and 500 is the screen height, right? In paint, if you specify 1024 and what is the height? 500 is the screen height. Okay. So I created 1024 by 76. 1024 by 500. Mm. If we require some background image required, that's what I'm creating. So place here. Okay, this is our icon is specified. Let's save this image. File, save. Save on downloads or documents or where you want to store. Okay. For example, app bj is specified. The file name is specified as file name is specified as app.bg. So application background is a file name is specified app.bg. Okay. Basically, we require a high resolution image we required with this 1024 by 500. That's why in the paint we created temporarily we created an image we created. Just let's specify that one. App.bg. Okay. So we specified the high resolution icon also we specified. We specified the high resolution icon also we specified. The screenshots we specified for mobile phone we specified the screenshots. For tablets we specified the screenshots, and we specified the high resolution icon for our application. Okay, what is the background image we specified? A TV banner is not required because now our focus is only for tablet and mobile phones. Okay, and here we have to fill what is the application type. Okay, so application type is what? Is that whether it is an application or a game? It's a application. Select category. I mean, what type of application it is? What type of application it is? It is for entertainment or education. What type of app it is? It's an education app. I specified the category I specified as education is a category I specified. Content rating. Content rating to this application is for everyone or low maturity or medium maturity or high maturity to whom you want to give this application. I want to give this application for what? For everyone, I want to give the application. Okay. Next, do you have any website? If you have any website, we had a link with the website URL. We had a link. Otherwise, they can leave it because it's not a mandatory parameter. If you have a website, just specify here. Otherwise, you can leave it. What is the email ID and what is the phone number? Okay, and so this privacy policy is also it's mandatory because this star mark is there, right? It's mandatory here. Okay, and just select here if you don't have any private privacy policy now. Not submitting a privacy policy at this time. Just click on this. That's it. Okay, after filling all these options, after filling all these options, you have to just go to top here and you can find a save draft option. Meaning if all these options are fine, if all these options are correct, whatever you fill, you can find an option called save draft. So click on this save draft. The application could not be saved. Please check the form for errors. There are some errors out there where you need to enter a valid phone number. It's asking. Let's take 091 or 9 only 91 is 0 is not. Plus 91. So now the second option is done. See, now we got the tick mark for second option, we got the tick marks. For store listing, we got the right mark we got for the store listing. Okay, so first two things are completed. APK, store listing is completed. Third thing is what? Content rating. Content rating, just click on this continue button. Now here it's going to ask you, here you have to specify your email address. Okay, and here we have to specify what type of app it is. Let's say reference news or educational, social networking, forums, and the stream service, commercial streaming service, game, entertainment, utility, what kind of app it is. Let's take it's an educational app, for example. So can the app contains violent material? No. Sexuality? No. Language? No. Controlled substance? No. Miscellaneous? No. No. Okay. So after filling all these things, select this questionnaire, save questionnaire. Your answers to the questionnaire have been saved. Still, we have not got the draft, save draft option. We have not got because that still continues calculate rating. Okay. So based on this, they given a rating they given for our application. Now click on this apply rating. That's it. Click on what? Apply rating. And see if you see here, even the third option is also completed. Content rating is also completed, the third option. Next thing is pricing and distribution. Fourth one is what? Pricing and distribution. Do you want to give this application as a paid service or a free service? A paid or free? So it's a free service. It's not a paid application, it's a free application. Paid means the process is different again. Okay. So paid and so you want to give this application to any specific countries. You want to give this application to any specific countries. If you take this Pokemon Go application, if you take game if you take, it is not available in all the countries. In very few countries only it's available, right? So here you'll select the particular countries. You'll select in which country you want to provide the support. So my application want to give in all the countries I want to give. Select all countries. Select all countries. Then we'll see what is the next one. Contains ads? No. It has no ads. Device categories: Android Wear, Android TV, Android Auto. No, no, no. It's all not record. So US export laws. United States export loans to personal location is not likely that my computer systems. Okay. Next, the application Android. The application meets Android content guidelines. Do not promote my application except in Play Store and in any Google owned online or mobile properties. I understand that my niche is. Click on these options, that's it. Okay. So after filling these details, again go to top and you can find the option called Save Draft. Save Draft. So now these options are done. APK, store listing, content rating, pricing and distribution. Once if all these options are done, then you can find the option called ready to publish. Then after filling this all these options, see all these four we got right mark we got right, meaning all these four things are success. So once these four things are done, then we can deploy the APK into Play Store. You can deploy. See, you can find the option here. You can find the option called Publish APK. You can find the option. Just click on this Publish app. Click on what? Publish app. So processing the update. Pending publication. Okay. So now the APK is ready to publish. See, we got the status we got as pending publishing we got. Pending publishing. Meaning this APK meaning immediately it will not upload the APK into Play Store. Immediately it will not upload the APK file into Play Store. Immediately it will not update. It will take some time to upload the APK file into Play Store. Okay, take hardly 2 hours, maximum 2 to 3 hours. It will take to upload that APK file into Play Store because they are going to check, is there any harm to the Android platform by using your Android application, and is there any security or malware kind of thing? Is there any application? It's going to check all the things they are going to check next 1 or 2 hours. And next they'll upload the APK file they'll upload into. Meaning once the APK is published, then you'll get like this. APK is what? Published. You can upload, you can get the APK, you can download the APK file from Play Store, you can download. Okay. So media service test. It's a pending publishing. So maybe tomorrow morning class, the next tomorrow morning class, we'll see. Maybe at that time we'll get a status as what? Published, and we can download the APK file, you can download from Play Store, you can download. Okay. So any queries? Any queries in this uploading the APK and service concept?